We keep getting lied to, falsely advertised, and falsely represented the game before it comes out. So that when you finally buy it, you've been screwed over. The game is nothing like they showed, unlike back in the day where you pick up a game cover and all that shit you could actually do in the damn game. You pick up covers these days, they show shit you can't even do in the damn game. And these covers were much more fleshed out. On a small note, gaming used to push technology to the limit. Now they are spreading technology out in bits, saving assets, reusing animations, and assets for the next game. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the same movement and mechanics in a sequel as if that sequel is more like a DLC than a full game. Man oh man, people, man oh man. Were all games better? Think about Jak 2 for a sec. This game might as well be a full-blown open-world game. The game's world design was so brilliant, it had this interconnected world that you could free roam on PS2. What the fuck does the PS4 have? What the fuck does the PS4 have? My goodness, they don't have games like this. Yeah, they got open worlds, but they copy the same repetitive side quests and designs. Ubisoft formula. Then when you finally get a game like Elden Ring that goes against the design, it's really just a linear action game. So that shit was overhyped. Man, old games had so many incredible depth, and even fighting games used to be more balanced and hardcore. Now look, Street Fighter V, absolute dog shit. Raging Blast 2 on PS3 was great. Then you have Xenoverse 2. That shit is overrated. I thought the mechanics were awful. It was meh, you know? People say Witcher 3 is brilliant, and Fallout 4 is shit. I'm like, dude, Fallout 4 lets you get into a full-blown power suit and free roam this large area with tons of shit to do and a huge map with variety. All kinds of stuff. From the settlements, to the companions, to the factions. Bitch, that shit was immersive as hell. Witcher 3, I played it, and I was bored. I roamed from place to place. The combat is goddamn awful. The world, the story was okay, but the combat, oh my goodness. The overworld was alright, I guess. It didn't really have as much as the fans kept saying it would. Even though there are good modern games, like the new Spider-Man. Yeah, the quest design isn't all that, but the actual gameplay and combat is amazing. And the world is gorgeous. It's really the story is outstanding. So there are good modern games out there, no doubt. But overall, modern gaming is the worst it has ever been. From Rival School United by Fate, to Samurai Showdown, to Naruto, Ultimate Ninja, to Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, even linear action games put more to the table than the limited movesets and abilities they have now. Think about games like Naruto Chronicles, a game that is supposed to be a linear action game, beat 'em up. But it actually has action RPG mechanics. It has a unique skill chip system where you customize your character's abilities, defense, offense, and attack moves and techniques in the game. It's innovative as fuck, especially considering this is a linear little PS2 game. What the fuck is this level of innovation doing here in this game? That's crazy. You got this much being put into a PS2 title. Bitch, that's some impressive shit. This is why old games push the boundaries of technology, and PS4 and PS5 games are just meh. So underwhelming. They don't do unique stuff like this anymore. You don't get games like Shadow of the Colossus anymore. These games do not exist out here. Modern gaming is a staple of wasted potential. And throwing away ambitious technology, they spoon-feed content, dirty-ass microtransactions, the gameplay is stale, bland, repetitive, they don't do unique shit with gameplay anymore. My goodness, it sucks ass. Modern gaming fucking sucks. Any hater, like Dashing David talking shit about retro gamers can suck this, because it's bullshit. Look dude, the game sucks. It just happens these companies are greedier than ever. You're not gonna tell me that after Bungie fucked over the consumer twice, while people lied and said it was Activision when it was really Bungie, you're not gonna tell me that after Bungie fucked over the consumer twice, that's just retro gamers having a fit. No, this idiot right here, Dashing David, it's Bungie locking content on your disk tray. That's right, it was already developed and they chose to lock it. Activision did. Activision did not make them do jack diddly shit. Do your research, folks, cause it's true. Bungie also restricted your light level, and in Destiny 2, they slowed the shit down, way down, so that you would grind more in the game. Cheap shit like this was impossible during the old school days. Then you have YouTubers like Dashing David. I watched his video. He made a video on why retro gamers suck. Suck my dick. Motherfucker, you don't know what you're talking about. Claiming retro gamers are just people who don't like new entries in a franchise. Horse shit. It's the fact that when you see what new gaming has become in comparison to what it once was, it's like night and day. They put so much time and passion into these games, and for you to chalk it all up to ew, you just can't take a sequel years later, or some dumb shit like that is bullshit. People who say that are so full of it. What the fuck are you talking about? How can you say such horseshit? What is your deal? Let me tell you something, motherfucker. Okay, if I make another game in an ongoing franchise and I strip it down for DLC or take away pivotal features that were once in the game and the game launches with less content each year, bitch, I have a right to complain. So again, suck my dick. That's what they are actually doing to these ongoing franchises that have been going on for years. And that's also what they're doing with new IPs. So I don't want to hear it. People who say this are so full of it, and it's bullshit. Don't listen to these people. You play an old game and get that nagging feeling of, wow, why can't games be like this today? Bitch, let me tell you something, it ain't just nostalgia. It's the game itself and the fact that they don't make them this way anymore. And for those talking shit about the fact that, ew, it's just nostalgia. Look, yo, you better learn something, bitch. You better learn. It ain't nostalgia. It's called video game design. Back in the day, even during the PS3, in-between era, the 7th generation, gaming was pushing technology further than ever. Fast forward to that low-end PC device you call a PS4 or Xbone, and they are spoon-feeding content and technology. Spoon-feeding. Barely giving you anything. Barely having content. Barely having features. Motherfucker, they don't have shit in half of these games. Barely anything to do, especially after beating it. Unlike old games, where they were timeless and they had replay value, something you also don't even see even in modern single-player games. It's not just online games that suck these days, it's single-player games. There are a few gems, I will admit that, but overall, older single-player games push technology so far. The PS2 pushed technology super far. There are PS2 games which, believe it or not, the graphics actually rival games today, and the gameplay sometimes even surpasses new shooters, new open worlds, and even new RPGs and new action games. What happened to single-player games? The level of effort and passion they used to put into these games. Now again, we get a few gems, but overall, those especially the open world ones have been annualized to shit. Take a look at Jak 2. A linear platformer, yet it plays like an open world game. It has an interconnected open world environment. You don't see games like this in the modern day. Jak 2 didn't have to be that way. It could have just been a linear action platformer. Instead, it was an interconnected open world game underneath the surface. This level of passion and effort is something you won't find in new games. When it's open world, it's open world. When it's linear, it's linear. They don't mix things up like this anymore. They do not create games like this anymore. Think about the PS3 era, the 7th generation. They were pushing technology further than ever, with games like Killzone 3 and Little Big Planet, making games that actually push the boundaries of what technology can do. Look at the new generation, the PS4, the PS5, the Xbone. You know damn well these consoles are just low-end PCs. They don't do much with their gameplay design or anything. When you play a PS3 game like Infamous 2, it's linear, yet it's literally open world. So much to do in its environment, and every choice you made mattered and had an impact. Games don't even have karma systems or cool stuff like that anymore. They don't do these kinds of things with games. Think about the PS2 generation. Shadow of Colossus, The Force Unleashed. The Force Unleashed let you upgrade your abilities. It had multiple force abilities, techniques, It adds so much when you level up. Now when you play these kinds of games, they limit you to like a few moves and powers. Barely anything, so you're left feeling empty. So it's not just nostalgia. My God, nostalgia, claiming that all the depth and innovation you see in games is just chalked up to nostalgia. Wrong! It's video game design. This level of effort they used to put into these games, fast forward now, day one DLCs, microtransactions, Bungie holding back content for DLC on your disc tray. That's right, people, it was a choice. Bungie chose to do that. They chose to slow down your light level in Destiny 2. They chose to lock content already on your disc tray. Content that is rightfully yours when you pay that damn money, and yet it's locked for DLC. This kind of greedy shit was impossible in the PS2 era and barely even present in the PS3 era. But of course, in the new gen era of PS4 and 5 and Xbone, it is here and it is shit. So it's not unreasonable that people express their dislike for modern gaming trends, as the modern era has brought some of the worst and most greedy business practices in gaming history. Or when you see the gameplay of games like Killzone 3 and Crysis. Now those games are revolutionary, and games like Far Cry 3 came from that same era, in between the PS3 and the PC Master Race era, where PC started reigning dominant and consoles struggled to keep up. Look at Jak 2, a game that is supposed to be a linear platformer, but yet it has an intricate, interconnected environment that you can actually free roam. How the fuck was this even possible on a PS2? Plus, it's supposed to just be a platformer like Jak 1 was. So how is this possible? That's elaborate, intricate, brilliant, especially for the time it came out. Also not available in the modern gaming era. All the stuff you can do in this game, you can switch from it being a third-person shooter to an action platformer. Fucking brilliant. This is the kind of brilliant shit you will find in these classics that you will not find in these shitty games that hold back content for DLC. So fucking greedy. No innovation, no depth, no creativity. So it's not just nostalgia, it's the core of the damn game. This was Tarragon, and this is what I'm laying down. Alright y'all, I am now out this piece. Thank you for watching.